Hello friends, we all know that IBPS CWE from this year onwards is going to be online. So it's very imperative for everybody who is going to appear for bank CWE examination that they understand this online testing environment and practice accordingly for the day of examination. Now, this is the online assessment platform which the IBPS has come up with, and you would be required to enter in your roll number and password. So, because this is a demo session, so this time it is already written guest and some password is entered in. But when you appear for the examination, definitely you have to enter in your roll number with along with your password and then click on sign in. So we go and now sign in, right? Now, this is the first instruction section that is going to appear as soon as you click on the sign in button, right? There will be some general instruction which you will be required to go through. I'll suggest that you visit the particular link which I'll be providing at the end of the video alongside our blog, and you visit on this particular link and test it for yourself how this appears and take a feel and practice the coming examination accordingly. Apart from general instructions, there are a few things which I would like to mention. These would be the kind of buttons with colored coding that will be shown up when you give your examination. This particular gray button will show those questions which you haven't attempted yet. So you can clearly, by visiting at the right side, you will be seeing a you will be seeing a screen with buttons. With the gray button means that these questions you have not attempted. These red questions will be the one which you have already visited but you were not able to understand, or maybe for any other reason you haven't attempted and you just moved on. So these are the questions you have just been through but you haven't attempted. This green button would signify that you have actually answered the question, plus you have saved and moved on to the next question. Remember, if you don't save this particular question, this won't go green. Even if you have marked it, it would still remain red, and soon as you move on the next question, the question answered previously would not be saved and will still be dealt as non-attempted question and will fall under this red category. Now there may be the case that you are not sure about a question, and in that case you can actually mark a question. Look at this, mark the question thing, and when you mark that, it will turn as a blue ball, right? And if you have marked the question and still you want to review it, that will be like this: a checkbox that you have attempted and a blue button if you mark that question to be reviewed later. If you are not sure about it, then only go about using this strategy. Apart from this, there are certain other instructions which would be there. I suggest you go in and read it for yourself to understand in a much better way. Now I click on the next. This is the screen that you are going to get. Now, in this particular page, one of the important thing is that you have to select your default language of the paper. By default language, they mean that this is the language in which your whole paper is going to come. Now, they are giving two possible languages to write this paper. This will be English or Hindi. Let's say we select English as a language, right? Because the mode of communication I'm using in this video is English, so I would prefer to be sticking to English language. After selecting the language, let's say English in my case, I have to check, or you have to check for your specific case on this instruction that you have read you have read all the instructions and you have understood them as well. Once you click on this, you have to click on I am ready to begin. If you don't check this and click on this particular icon, you will be shown as this prompt. This means that you have missed something. That is, you have to check this particular instruction and then click on I am ready to begin. Now look at this particular window. This is your paper window. In the paper, you will be getting many sections. Here, for the demo purposes, they have just shown the general awareness section. Now, remember that every window will have one single question, and you will be required to see this button which I was telling. You will be required to sail through the paper with this kind of button. Now remember what I told you in initial basis. The question which you have not visited yet would be shown as gray boxes. The question that you have visited but you haven't answered would be shown with the red tab. That is, I haven't clicked on anything. Now if I answer some question, let's say I don't know who the Donald Trump is. Let's say the option A was the correct answer, right? Then if I move on, if I click on any other question, what I was trying to say at that point of time was that the question number 1 would still remain red if I don't click on save and next button. Let's say I don't save and I will be moving on to next question, let's say 5. Now remember, we choose this option 1. See, this hasn't been registered here, so my suggestion would be that the system calls for clicking on save and next button. As soon as you click on save and next button, it will automatically go green. This means that you have already answered the question. Now let's say the question 2 you were trying to understand and you thought that this question I don't remember. Let's say mark this question. This question, as soon as you mark this question, this will go blue. But as soon as, let's say, you move on to question number 6, you found out that I'm not sure that the answer is Farooq Abdullah or Omar Abdullah. Let's say it was Omar Abdullah, but I would like to review this question. So I'll click on mark and I'll also answer. See this check coming up. This means that you have already answered the question, but you have already marked it for later on to review this question. Now we have discussed about the mark for review in the next button. Look at the clear response button. Let's say you choose an option C, which was a wrong option. You want to change it. You can click on clear response. It will get cleared. Alternatively, you can actually click on the option C itself, which will clear the option. And you can again select any other option. Let's say this option. And you save and next. So that question again gets green. Come up in this particular window wherein we convey that the language of the question is not understood. Let's say you are not able to understand a particular word. Let's say this particular sentence doesn't have any word which you wouldn't be able to understand. Let's say you don't understand the meaning. Assume that you don't understand the meaning of word Maoist in English. So you can actually convert this question into Hindi to understand who this Maoist is. They mean Matavadiyo. Matavadiyo, or in your language, would be like somebody who is creating some kind of unrest situation in the society. So you would be able to relate with the question better. So I suggest that you can go on and use these and toggle between English and Hindi language for a single particular question that you're looking at. And that will help you in understanding the question better. But choose it wisely, because it will lead to wastage of time as you have to read the question in 2 different languages. So let's say you got the answer and you click on this and you move on. Now in this panel, you see this. There are 4 buttons. Submit button is blurred because you haven't yet completed the paper. So let's say we click on the question paper. When you click on the question paper, what will happen is whole of the paper will come in front of you like this. Remember that the language we choose initially was English language, so whole paper is coming in English language. Right? So you can actually browse through the paper to understand the kind of question that you will be readily able to answer, and you can actually target those questions by going directly to, let's say you were able to target the question number 23. So you can just go and target this question number 23, mark that question, go back into the question paper and figure out where is the other question that I would like to answer. See, you want to answer the 32 question. I'll first go 23 because I have forgotten to save that. I'll go back. I have to save. Remember, you don't need to forget that you have to click on the save, otherwise no answer will get registered. So you again go back to the question paper. You saw that question number 32. I know this question, hooray. So I click on the option, I click on the save, and again I go back to this. This is another strategy if you want to answer the paper in a fast manner. This particular strategy would work in cases where you know that you are left with a limited time, very limited time, and you don't know, you want to target those questions where you want to score more or you want to maintain the accuracy. And you have to click back if you want to go back to the previous question you were looking at. Apart from that, you are again given the window of instruction, probably because you may not be able to understand some sort of instructions. So they have given you a buffer to read the instructions again if you were not able to follow them in the first place. And also there is the icon of viewer, when you can actually toggle between Hindi language and the English language, again as the previous case when we were viewing the questions, right? Apart from that, they will also give you an icon for profile, which shows you the profile of yours, which gives you the assessment ID and your email ID along with your contact number. Now assume that while toggling through the paper you reach your last question and you click on save and exit. Save and next, it will ask you with a prompt that you want to go back to your first question again so that you can see the left out question. If you click on OK, you will go to the first question. If you click on cancel, you will remain on this question. So let's try and go on to the first question. So see this, you have gone on to the first question. Now in all this discussion, we have left out one most important thing, that the time left window is running over the top, and once the time is over, you will be automatically able to submit. Unless and until the time is not over, this submit button will remain blurred and you can actually go through your paper again and again. And once the time is over, you will be able to submit this paper. Now remember that I told you that all the sections will be coming over here, so there will be composite timing of 120 minutes. That means that you will be able to move from one section to other, from second section to the third section, and then to the fourth section, and then back to the first section. So it is very critical that you can use this particular technique to browse through whole of the paper, or maybe we are not sure that you will be able to scroll through all the questions within one go. Maybe it is required that you have to click on the other section, and then only you are able to see the question paper related questions of that particular section. Or maybe that when you click on the questions, you get all the sections question in one single window. We would definitely comment on this as soon as we are able to infer more from the subsequent posts given by the IBPS. Till then, this is what we can infer, and this is what we have to tell you. And we would like to listen from you on this. Any kind of doubts that you have, we would like to clear on that and come up with a better possible solution for you, so that the experience of giving this examination is great for you. Thank you. Stay posted. Stay connected. Bye-bye.